Hey, Chris Migliaccio here. I hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk to you about the process of Chapter 7 and how it works. So if you decided that you are wanting to look into filing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, you may be wondering, well, how does the whole situation unfold? Well, I'm going to kind of describe how our office handles it, and that way you get a general idea, and hopefully I'm able to answer some of the questions that you may have along the way. So after you have met with the attorney and decided you want to proceed with the Chapter 7 and retain the law firm, the first thing you'll do is what we call get us documents. We call it the document collection stage. So that's really the first stage for the Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So for our firm, we will set you up in a online portal, and this portal is going to outline all the information that we need about your estate. You know, how much you make, your income, all of your assets that you own in the entire world, and anybody you owe money to. Those are some of the main things that we're going to be needing to get from you. So in doing so, we're going to be asking for items like your last 6 months pay stubs, your tax returns for the last 3 years or so, and even your bank statements. So it's a very collaborative stage document collection, because what you'll be doing is essentially sending to us or uploading to our portal these documents, and then we'll be reviewing them and giving you feedback like, okay, good, you got those documents in, or hey, you're missing these documents. So it's very collaborative. It's a back and forth process. But once you're done with that, we can move on to the second stage. And then in the second stage, that's where we will take care of the drafting of the documents. So when you file a bankruptcy, we're going to eventually have to file a 50-page to 100-page document that contains a schedule of all your assets. All of your creditors will be listed. There's going to be a lot of information on these documents that we draft based on the paperwork that you provide us during that document collection stage. This is often referred to as your petition and schedules. So we draft that, and then after that we move on to the stage for the signing. Now, before we do the signing stage, we're going to send you everything so you can review, make sure everything's true and correct, and do your own personal review. Then we're going to schedule you for a signing meeting. Now, this signing meeting will either take place over something like Zoom or Skype, where we can see you. You can do it from your home or wherever you're comfortable, but we need to actually be able to see you on video and watch you sign these documents. Or in some circumstances, we'll do this in person, depending on the situation at our office. So during the signing meeting and during the signing stage, what we're doing is essentially confirming with you that everything that's in these petitions and schedules is true and accurate, that we listed everything. And then we're also going to want to make sure that you understand all the information that's in these documents. And of course, we want to make sure all your questions are answered. And sometimes, actually, when it happens, because sometimes it happens more than you like to think, there's often going to be one or two things that we need to clear up. And so this is a great opportunity at that signing meeting to, address anything with your particular bankruptcy that we might need to explain a little bit more than we would have to in another type of bankruptcy. So the signing meeting is a great time to really get together, make sure everybody understands what the documents mean, and then make sure everything's true and correct. At the conclusion of that meeting, you'll sign each page of the bankruptcy paperwork, so that we're allowed to then take it and file it with the court. So then, after we're done with the drafting and the signing stage, we're going to move on to the filing stage, and that's simply where we file your bankruptcy case under Chapter 7, and we get the automatic stay, which stops creditors from being able to collect on you and harass you and call you. And if you're being sued, it will allow your attorney to file something which basically stops the lawsuit. So it's a very powerful tool, that automatic stay, and that's what happens right when you file. Then typically what happens is the file date triggers a lot of other activities. About 30 to 45 days after you file, there'll be a scheduled 341 meeting that you'll need to attend. And basically at that meeting, you'll go to the meeting with your attorney, and you'll just meet with the bankruptcy trustee who's appointed by the bankruptcy court, and you'll just confirm every document that you filed is true and correct, and answer any questions that the trustee, or if any creditors show up at the meeting, you answer those questions as well. What we like to do for our clients is make sure they're over-prepared and ready for this, so that it's almost very routine and straightforward, and it's just a matter of a 15-minute, you've done all the hard work, you've got us all the documents, we disclosed everything, we did the paperwork right, so it's very much just a ceremony where we're just getting through it and making sure, under oath, that everything's true and correct, and there's nothing interesting or anything to be nervous about at the 341 meeting. That's what we like to do in our cases. So after the 341 meeting, you'll be then deciding, what do I do about my car? If you're making a payment on a car, you may have to reaffirm the car. What that means is that the creditor will want you to sign like a new contract on the car, just to say basically, hey, I filed Chapter 7, but I still want to keep this car, and I agree to keep paying the car note that was existing prior to me filing. That's called reaffirmation. That's definitely something you'll want to talk to your attorney about as to whether to do it or not. But that's something that's going to happen after that 341 meeting. Other than that, you're really at that point just waiting for your discharge. And that's going to typically happen anywhere from 60 to 90 days after that 341 meeting. So generally, when you file your bankruptcy case, you're looking at about 3 months, maybe 120 days from the date you file to the date of your discharge. And what the discharge does is it basically is an order from the court that basically removes your personal liability from all of the debt that you have. And it's typically the final step in a Chapter 7. And then after that, you can start to really rebuild your credit, bring some peace to your life and just start over. So that's kind of how the Chapter 7 works in the process. So if you have any questions, you know how to get in touch with us. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.